A very, very warm good evening. This is Arnav Chaudhary. You are on my YouTube channel, arunfoot, and it is May the 28th, 2025. It's a Wednesday evening, and it's another Indian football discussion on my channel. Welcome you all, those of you who follow the channel and those who might not be following the channel. Always simple reminder. If you like what you see, what you hear, do leave a like behind. And if you are new, like the conversation, do subscribe to the channel as well. And of course, watch the other videos that I do. Today I did an interview with Prichi Das, who is the chairman, the president, not the chairman, sorry, the president of Inter Kashi, talking about the club, its vision going into the future, but also the CAS case. I think very good, insightful interview. I at least enjoyed it, and so thanks a lot for that. Renan starts was saying Bajaj is trying to finish Indian football for the end. Renan, I said this. What was the whole game plan in regard to the Inter-Kashi case and all of that, with regard to talking about promotion and all of those kind of things? It is in the end not to get relegated. That's the whole point about this whole thing, right? So therefore, for me, it's not surprising that we're talking about these things, and it's something which is there, and we can talk about things and hope that things are different, but it has become a joke. The appeals committee has become a joke, and I think the question now needs to be asked about the integrity or the genuinity of these gentlemen who are sitting in that committee. I think that question needs to be asked. I think football fans need to be asked. So therefore, for me, we've had it in the PSC, we've had it now in the disciplinary committee, now we have it in the appeals committee, and so let's see what happens. Good evening, Anurag. I am good. Hope you're doing good as well. Hi, Kaushik. How are you? After so many days now, watching Kashi president interview, looks genuine guy. Thanks, Kaushik. I'm doing good. Good to have you back. Yeah, it's he wants to be someone to change things, and let's see what he can do. Right? I think the conversation is not tomorrow, and let's see what happens. Hi, Ritik. Hello, sir. Is your BP okay after following Indian football for so long? Ritik, some of the stuff I don't bother anymore, because I can't influence them. Who am I to influence things in a way that they can go in the right direction? I try and do what I can in the interest of Indian football. That might not be always easy, but I try and do things in the best possible way I personally can, and and therefore, So do you know Show Speed, the famous YouTuber, is going to Germany? I think there must be follows him in Germany. Shonlata, most probably, yes, I know about him. Don't follow him, to be very honest. But I'm not sure why he's coming to. Most probably he's coming to for one of those 5-a-side leagues which happen here. Kaushik says, I saw a stupid take today that because there is no relegation ISL, so why relegation in I-League, since the roadmap said that there will be relegation ISL by now, since when roadmap was a binding talk. Kaushik, there are 2 or 3 things. First of all, I'm one of the authors of the roadmap. The roadmap is not something which said it has to be followed 1:1. We've had COVID, not to forget. I also think, looking at the whole situation surrounding club football in India, a smaller league is better than a bigger league at this moment in time. I think that is also a reality. I think it needs a roadmap 2.0. And the I-League relegation topic, the NFL and the I-League have been having a relegation since 1997. 98. Sorry, 98. Yeah, third I-League was the first league to have a relegation. So why are we even talking about this? Right? And so, yeah. I mean, the less I say, the better, because I don't even get angry anymore. I just laugh. I saw some of these reactions when I put up my tweet, and it is the same. Some of these people even come onto the show. I feel sorry for these people, because, yeah, there's a problem. Is it lack of intelligence? I don't know. Is it not wanting to understand things, how they run and operate? Are they willing to get fooled by people? I can claim a lot of things. If I want to, tomorrow I can start claiming things. I do this, I do that. And yes, some of you would cross-check me, right? Would ask me things. But some would actually believe it. This is where the problem is in Indian football. There are people running around telling, oh, this, that, everything. But again, what is it? Hi, Karam. Here goes the Punjab youth program. They have won AIFF U7, U15 Dream Sports League alongside RF there last year. Karam, the youth program is good. But all that you've listed to me is good. But the main thing is, how many players can they get to become regulars or first team players? That is the end game. To me, that is the big question. Winning under 13, under 15, under 7, I don't even know who wins these things. I do know who's going to win it this year, let's say in Germany. But I don't know who won it last year or the year before. Nobody cares. It is about getting your players through. Yeah. Let's take Lamine Yamal, good example. Lamine Yamal theoretically could have played under 17 and under 19 league in Spain, but he's playing first team. That is where our end product, that is what the discussion should be. Why do we talk about La Masia? Why do we talk about the academy at Ajax Amsterdam? Because they are able to produce team players for the first team. So that's the thing. It's refreshing to see some local boys playing and doing good for PSU teams. I think, Karam, that has to be the aim, that in a state like Punjab has certainly some history in Indian football, and yeah, so that's good. And I would say ASEAN Stars defeated Man United shows power of ASEAN football, and India can get a massive advantage and good competitive if it joins ASEAN. And exactly not at all. First of all, it's a friendly game. Secondly, it's Man United. And again, let me try and find the lineups for United, and then I'll tell you. These games are worth nothing, right? So for me, these games mean nothing at all, because they're friendlies. I mean, when we played with Bayern Munich against Mohun Bagan and won 3-0, did Bayern really play to the maximum? Did they really try and really, score as many goals as they could against Mohun Bagan? Did Bayern Munich try and score? They won 4-0 against India. Did they try to really play 90 minutes? No. So therefore, these kind of games don't take him seriously, and we're not joining ASEAN soon. I've said this multiple times over the last few years. We are part of SAF. We are a key factor in SAF. So therefore, so that's the reality. Impartiality of judiciary committees associated with I-League is as strong as dragonfly wings. Kaushik, it's a shame. And I think someone needs to look at all these committees in the All India Football Federation, and whoever is the bad apple needs to be taken out. And that is harming us. Hi, City, busy for some times, unable to follow Indian football. Any positive news in Indian football? Boy. Guys, do we have any positive news in football? Might not be no relegation in the league. Is that's positive news for you? I don't know. Very difficult at the moment. It's a total mess at this moment in time. Positive news. I hope there is something, and let's hope that things will get better. So even if our SAF best plays a friendly match against ASEAN, also this SAF would be trashed, but there's a difference between ASEAN and SAF. One is formality on the strategy. Shanlata, there are two things. This is a all-star game, so I don't take it seriously. Yeah. To me, if I look at how many origin players are playing now for those teams, if I see how many origin players are playing in South Asia as well, I think it would be a comparison. ASEAN versus SAF 11. Yeah, I think that could be a competitive match. I think it could be a very interesting game to follow. But don't get carried away because they never did. It's Manchester United match. Did you watch last week the Europa League final? It was a disgrace for an European Cup final. I think it's the worst ever European Cup final I've seen. Both of the teams should have said, you know what? We're stepping away from this. Sorry. And all the other teams who didn't make the final should be holding their head in shame. Yeah. How could Lyon lose to United the way they did in extra time? Eintracht Frankfurt has to blame themselves for losing to Tottenham. That's not the standard. And if I told someone yesterday, the Premier League is not as great a league as people try to make you think it is. Right? The Premier League is not. I think La Liga, football-wise, Bundesliga, football-wise, is much, much better. But it's the PR machinery of the Premier League which has been working. Hi, Aman. Mr. Savior seems for corrupted by evil FSTL. Damn you, FSTL. Yeah, it's all everybody else's fault as always. So day after yesterday, the Hong Kong are going to play as Manchester United. If they bring a positive result, we're guaranteed of being crushed. No, it has no value. One another understand it. These are friendlies. It has no value. Hong Kong could thrash Man United, let's say 5-0. On the other side, they could be losing to India. It has no implication at all. It's like everyone losing their mind because India just beat Bengal 2-1 and 3-0 something. Some North 24 Parganas team or whatever it was, right? And then you see Sanjay Sen and Ranjan Bhattacharya standing in there. Oh, my team did this, my team did that, and the problem is no one can cross-check. The problem in Indian football is that when these people stand in front of a mic, they start to lie the second they open their mouth. It is such a disgrace. Huh? So that's the reality. You do not take this too seriously because a friend is a friendly. As I've also said, yeah. The Hong Kong match counts. The Thailand match is a nice warm-up. But to me, yeah. Ranjit Bhattacharya posted a picture of a man who somewhat felt was impersonating a joker, finally understood himself. Yeah. I don't know. It's someone who claims himself to be the savior of Indian football has harmed Indian football more than anything else over the last 10, 15 years. Period. Right? So, those who saw Man United's game play today know exactly how should they have been this season. They're not better than India, in my opinion, at this point in time. I would like to see Man United play India, actually. Yeah. Would be an interesting game. United are that bad that most probably even India could have a chance against them. Yes. I'm not surprised. That's why XYZ, I actually, you were laughing, but United is that bad. Tottenham is not better than that. What was that? What kind of a football game was that last week? I don't watch the Premier League too much. I don't know. Wow, that was really bad. Said Messiah said, "Why haven't ISL given next year 3? Where are those world-class players? But isn't should be asked to myself, sir, what your academy produces about which you mourn all day." See, Kaushik, you're asking a very valid question, in my opinion. The question is to him, to anybody who runs an academy, to anybody who runs a grassroots and a youth football program, what is the quality of players you're producing? Simple question. Simple question. I did a video a few days ago, right, where I asked that question 5 days ago. Why isn't Indian football producing a Baichung Bhutia and I'm Vijay or a Sunil Chhetri? Simple question, right? All talk, all chatter, oh, this, that, everything. I go with it, okay. But why are we unable to produce players of that quality? Forget world class, forget Asian class. Sunil Chhetri at 40 is putting in more of a shift than players who are 25. How can that be? How do you develop? Sunil was not a finished product. That's also something to remember. When I first saw Sunil Chhetri in 2004, I thought, okay, TK, another one who comes from the lower leagues, So therefore, for me, the question is there. And the question about quality from the ISL not producing players, it's a very valid question. That he can ask, but ask the question to yourself and then you can ask others. What have you done for Indian football? You're saying I've done this. You've harmed Indian football. You got us banned. And all your so-called great talent is overage. Not even 1 year, 2 years, they're 5, 7 years older than they supposedly are. Right? So that's the problem, no? So Germany's either going for 2036 or 2040 Olympics. I think they will win their bids and host. Charlotte, if Germany bid for 2036, I've been part today, my home state here in Germany of North Rhine-Westphalia, or North Rhine-Westphalia as it's called in English, presented its plan of a multi-city Olympics. For example, Arena of Schalke, FC Schalke 04, where they play, would be turned into an Olympic swimming pool. The stadium in Düsseldorf. So Schalke has a roof. Düsseldorf has a roof as well, where Fortuna Düsseldorf, second division team play. And Fortuna Stadium would be changed into an indoor arena to host handball, basketball, and volleyball. They're thinking of building a new athletic stadium, which would be then an Olympic stadium, either in Cologne or in Essen, which would be supposedly a pop-up stadium. And the other infrastructure is already there. So therefore, that's the plan. And I've said this, if Germany bids for 2036, given history of 1936, the new Germany wants to showcase itself, I think Germany is going to win. And that's the mistake that I feel India is doing. Germany is saying, we're bidding for 2036, for 2040 and 2044. So you're preparing a bid, but it's not a one-off. It's not a one-shot, right? And that's the reality. AIFF works in mysterious ways. Don't question it. You want to live in Pakistan. Abhijit, it's not just the problem is not the AIFF. The AIFF is part of the problem. The system, the stakeholders are a problem in Indian football. If we again and again go back to the point and put the blame only at the AIFF, it is a mistake. The AIFF is a problem. But what had the other stakeholders done? Yeah. Premier League is really overrated. They just tempo clutcher, no build up from back, no tactical game. They just create a fast-paced games and keep some good pace. Merchants, that's it. Yeah. I couldn't disagree with you. AIFF is the greatest disguise and disgrace in this country ever. Ranata, there is in a country a lot of things which are disgraceful and problematic. And sorry, but in the AIFF just showcases the highlights, the problems that India in 2025 faces and showcases, right? That's the problem. Hi, Neil. Welcome back. Good to see you back. Hi, Shaggy. Good to see you back as well. Mumbai City FC cleaning up so many players. Is Coach Kratke leaving given he still has a year contract? Not decided, Shaggy, I think. But Mumbai City is scouting the market for coaches. Supposedly, I've been told that they've been also some other people in the setup. I think City Football Group is having a word with it. Let's see what happens. So, yeah, but they are looking to unearth new talent. They're not going to go around and try and bring in players like last season where they hope that these players can deliver, which didn't happen. I think it didn't work for them. And now they're in a situation of having to try and find, the talent to bring in, Sorry. Exactly. So these Churchill brothers in Bajaj every now and then come and moan, we are legacy, then why are your stars built from your legacy, infra, and mindset? Kaushik, they've done nothing. They have, they've been, sorry, I'll be very brutal on this one. They're like parasites. They're like mosquitoes who are sucking the blood out of the system, but they're not giving back anything to the system. They claim that they've done. What are they giving to the system? The little me has done, has done more than these people. So, yeah, that's the reality. The Tottenham game made my respect for Arsenal come up a little bit, even though both are clueless, but at least Arsenal gives us a tactical angle. Yeah. In the game against Thailand and Hong Kong, want to bet how many Indian fans will switch sides midway? Abhijit, I know that is a sarcastic comment of yours, but to me, if a team is winning or losing, to me doesn't matter. Because you and I and everybody else should be supporting the team. But we should be allowed to be critical, make criticism of things that we think we feel are wrong. That's the thing. So therefore, for me, that's the conversation we should have. We need to have. So what could be the biggest transfer this June in global football? Also, will Portugal win the Nations League, and who want to win the UEFA Conference League, and can France finally beat Spain? A lot of questions. I think if Florian Wirtz joins Liverpool, to me, Florian Wirtz, that would be the biggest transfer of the summer. Portugal win the Nations League? I don't think so, because they have to face Germany at home in Munich. And Cristiano Ronaldo's Germany record is quite clear. He's lost every game against Germany. So I think we'll take care of that. And Conference League, crazy stats. Since 2001, no English team has beaten a Spanish team. So I think Betis Sevilla wants to finally say that we also have an European Cup like FC Sevilla have multiple ones. And France beat Spain. I think Spain Germany final is what I would like to see in the Nations League. Ranjit Bhatt marketing team World Cup 2024 batch lost to Punjab FC junior team. Nice. Various figures imagine how that bottom teams of other leagues are that they lost Spurs, United, Bilbao, Olympic, Frankfurt, Sociedad. Kaushik, Olympic Lyon, that is a few minutes of madness. I think that's not, Frankfurt had enough chance to win, or should have won actually both games, can only blame themselves. And Sociedad and Bilbao, I can't say anything. I think we should believe in our new youngsters if we give them an opportunity. have belief in them, and we can wait and hope for that. What else can we do now? That's a nice, ideal world thought. I always hope against hope. I want to be critical now, and I want to be proven wrong. I would love to be proven wrong by these players and say, oh, you know what, he's actually made it. But I don't see that. Is there the desire? Is this, difficult? I am not even going to see the game because I've been disappointed a lot of times. Maybe I had a girl in my life earlier. I would have not given her this many chances. Angry Birds and a football team, a club, a national team is something. If I tell you from my example, I could have not have had that many girlfriends that like you're giving that, or give girlfriends or give the girls that many chances. Right? How many? I think my disappointment should be going into the 3-digit figures. Right? That's a sad reality, but I will still support them. But I also have the right to be critical about these players, team, and if they were accountable themselves, and in the past, I've had these conversations with players, right? I have had a couple of times conversations with certain players about certain things, right? Where that also then changes my mind because that gives you perspective. But for that needs to happen. Do you see Odisha FC sorting out the issues with state government? Odisha people really love their club. I said clubs are like riders of Tour de France, right? No, they're not, Abhijit, because you have to understand that the sports ecosystem built in India since the IPL came in cricket is an American franchise model. So that means if you see multiple franchisees and different sports in America have shifted cities. That's part of their culture. I'm not a fan of that because I go by the European club system in that way. But if Odisha doesn't sort its thing out as a state with Odisha FC, then Odisha FC will move. The question is, could it happen this summer or might it happen next or the summer after that? But now you understand that the value Mr. Patnaik had in pushing and supporting Odisha FC, pushing and supporting hockey, What is your reaction when United lost against ASEAN All-Stars side? Nothing. Because I don't care. Man United could lose against XYZ. Because, it in the ASEAN region, this is going to be headline news, but I just checked in the UK channels. Nobody's put it out there because there is this huge article by my good old friend John Durden in the BBC today. Why support a team that loses? How fans in Asia moved on from Man United. John, who's based in Asia, he's quoted me multiple times on Indian football over the years. These are realities. So therefore, I don't know if you're a United fan or not, but people don't bother. And this is something which I also have to tell you. Here in Germany, we don't care what's happening in the Premier League or La Liga. Of course, we do follow what's happening between Barca and Real because you have Hansi Flick over there and you've got Rüdiger, had Kroos, had Klopp over there, this and that, all those cross connections. But still, Hey, Rushabh, your thoughts on hybrid friendlies national team played? Rushabh, I don't have an opinion because I didn't see them. And if you speak to 3 people who were there on the ground, you'll get 4 opinions. I look at the result and think, oops, only 2-1 against Bengal. Oops, only 3-0. That's the thing that I feel, but I don't know how many chances India created because the coaches came out. I said this a little earlier. The coaches have told that they were actually winning and by chance India scored and won. Ranjan Bhattacharya and Swanraj Sen. Typical Indian coaches these days. Typical of that generation. Typical. And when they lose, let's say they lose in the CFL, they will still sell you a story, and if you don't know the result, you think they won. That's why I don't trust these guys. Therefore, to me, June 10th counts. I've said that last year as well. September, October, November, Manolo can do what he wants. March counts. And for me, his first exam in March against Bangladesh, Manolo failed. You know? So that is the reality. So therefore, all of this, India could have even lost today. India could win 5-0 against Thailand or lose 5-0 against Thailand. But if I win 1-0 or 2-0 against Hong Kong, that is what counts to me. Because it is about the Asian Cup. You know? You know? So this is again. I do really see Mehta to extend his contract in Mumbai. Mumbai can't just let him go. Angry Birds, they've put out, and this is, understand how the transfer rumors mill works. It's a very dry season so far, right? Why? Because we don't know if there will be an ISL. First question. And there's a mess in the system. Most of the clubs are very, very calm and quiet. The two clubs we've been hitting the most, because also of the media, is Mohun Bagan and East Bengal. Mohun Bagan was linked with XYZ player, big names, this, you know. Irving, he's the captain of St. Pauli in the Bundesliga, and he's currently injured, seriously injured. He was never linked to Mohun Bagan. Half of the players mentioned who have been linked with East Bengal have never been linked with East Bengal. So therefore, keep calm and quiet. Mehta, could he go? Yeah, because listen to my interview with Prithviraj Das, and then listen to on that Edmund example. You know? So that's the thing. So therefore, could he go? Yes. But Mumbai City is asking for a crazy transfer fee. But would they like to extend? Yes, of course. And Mehta should know what value Mumbai City has for him, because he was one of those typical players where you would have said, okay, he's part of the system, but nothing great. He's made it in Mumbai. Rahul Beke, same story. Made it in Bangalore at BFC. And then at Mumbai City, he took the next step, and now at BFC, another great season. So therefore, these players, it is all about the money part, right? Mohun Bagan has been doing it for a while. Even East Bengal, even this is why East Bengal saying, oh, you know, we've got this problem. East Bengal is spending a lot. But are you putting a squad together? Or are you just playing a puzzle and trying to fill in the gaps? And is it working or is it not working? That is the challenge. You know? Most of the players in All-Star team were naturalized. Hannibal, that's another factor. Most of these guys were English players. So, you know, English system players. Yeah, that's another reality. Tomorrow for U23 teams for AFC Asian Cup qualifier 20. Yes, Saurabh, good evening. Yeah, that's the thing. Good evening, sir. No excuse this time around. Let's hope enough time for national team camp by global standards. It's not enough time, Ishan. It's a lot of time. More than what normal teams get. This is an advantage in the Asian system that you have, that you can have more time to prepare the national team for these kind of games. But as I've said, the dressing room for me has been broken. And the question is, can Manolo sort it out? And of course, the whole thing is, yeah, let's see what it goes. Do you see Manolo leaving if the results don't go in our favor this time? Angry Birds, Manolo's decision to stay or to go will be independent of the result. I think now. I could be wrong, but my feeling is, right? So that's the reality. Are you racing? Manu's not better than Barcelona? No. Abhijit, yes, I'm saying that. There are some rumors tonight once Lisandro Onana and Lord Anthony to Liverpool. No one, of course. Who says that? Rushabh, if that is what you've heard, then you know that, no, right? The goalkeeper, they're trying to get Mark Flecken. Used to be at Freiburg, he's now at Brentford. And that's if they're going to bring a goalkeeper. Anthony Lisandro doesn't fit into the Leverkusen scheme of things, of how they sign players. So therefore, I don't see a reality to that. India should try to draw against Thailand and try to win against Hong Kong, but I don't know away against them. It's been a long time we play against them away. Punjab, whenever you play, you know, then we have to play for a win. Don't play for a draw. Never. A coach will tell you that he will always try and play for a win. Because if you play for a draw, you could lose, right? You know? So that's what we need to be working on. How do AIFF, FIFA allow referees that have been penalized for match fixing in the past to officiate games? Why allow them when we know their decisions will be questioned? Ishan, I think you're talking about Felix Fire. Yes, he was part of a refereeing team which got implicated in a German Cup game, but he didn't do any match fixing. Right? If he did match fixing, he would have never been allowed to officiate. I don't know about other cases, but this is what I know about, so that's why I can talk about it. Hi, Blue, new day, new low for Indian football. Blue, didn't we talk about this a few weeks ago? That this is going to happen at some stage, that Delhi FC will try to stay in the I-League? We're there, you know? And that's the reality. In Indian football, everything is uncertain except future FIFA plan. I hope not, but that's it. If OCIs are allowed, I will start following Indian tennis for sure. Okay. Whenever, if you know cricket, I don't. Rahul Dravid was not a naturally gifted player, but his hard work and grit made him player he was. Indian current player missing hard work and desire to do well for national team. Yeah, overall. I mean, there's a passion factor, this grit, as you say, right? And to me, if I see the most hardworking player in the Indian team is Sunil Chhetri, right? Can't be. So therefore, for me, you have a very good point. I mean, I had the pleasure of meeting Rahul Dravid a few times. Remember first time when India beat the UE in 2001 in Bangalore. Rahul Dravid actually came in the next day to congratulate the team. And a gentleman even at that time. So therefore, yeah, these are... You're not going to become a Sunil Chhetri or a Baichung Bhutia if you're not going to work hard. You're not going to become a Cristiano Ronaldo if you're not going to work hard. Cristiano Ronaldo, with all... I don't like the antics, but Cristiano Ronaldo is one of the hardest workers in football, period, to get to that level. While the German clubs fail to keep their players, wages will be the obvious part, but almost every baller wants to move to Bayern. They don't even think of fans or loyalty. Rushabh, I don't think that everyone wants to move to Bayern these days. It is, the money is surely a factor. And on the other side, I think wanting to play at a high level. And I mean, it's even now the Premier League has become that with some of these, like in Nottingham Forest or in Aston Villa, suddenly even Newcastle, moving into this top 4, top 5, top 6 conversation. And so therefore, yeah. And good example is, if every player wanted to move to Bayern, why did Florian Wirtz decide against it? Hi Vaishnav, sending a chat of a long time. Hope you're doing good. Yes, I am. I do check in from time to time. My fingers are crossed once again for this window. Always come back around. Vaishnav, and that's, or as you put in the brackets, lucky. That's, I think, the most important thing. That whenever the Indian national team is playing, everyone needs to support the Indian team. Right? Good evening, Moinok. Hypothetical question: if OCIPO becomes a reality, will there be any resistance of different stakeholders in football, including players themselves? Moinok, players themselves, yes, there could be, because I think they would lose their spots in the starting 11 or even in the squad. So that's a reality. And I think so yeah. So therefore, there will be people against it. But it is, I think, at this moment, given the realities, uh, um, given the realities, I think we need OCIs more than ever before. I've seen your talk with Intakashi Ona. I'm happy with this vision he gave. Puts out a clear, strategy of where Intakashi wants to go. And he was honest and humble enough, but he's also clearly that that if he thinks, if they feel that they've been done wrongly, which I agree with him actually on this point, then you have to go to the higher authorities to get it sorted. That's what he's done. So therefore, again, it will not happen overnight, right? And he said Rome wasn't built in a day. So therefore, that's going to be very, very important. Do you think if Odisha government bailing out Odisha should have conditions regarding grassroots if it isn't there already? Otherwise, they're moving only a matter of time in Naveen with trust. Abhijit, they were doing stuff in the grassroots part, right? So therefore, from that perspective, right. So that's the reality. To me, yeah, as you say, it's most probably a matter of time that they're going to move out if things are not sorted. And it's not just about the government support, but it's also what has been stated. I don't remember if it was Raj Adwal or it was Rohan who stated that it's not just the general support from the government, but also corporates in Odisha have pulled back their sponsorships or reduced their sponsorships. Now, just to clarify, I never had anyone in my life from that perspective. I'm Bhagwan Bharose. Yeah, Angry Birds. One day it will surely change. Today, the breaking news came. Dortmund has announced academy in India with the Mutut Sports, and they said we will get German coaches, which other clubs don't do, and they are investing big in Kerala. Satyam, they're not building a Borussia Dortmund academy. What Borussia Dortmund are doing, what Borussia Dortmund are doing is a partnership with the Mutut group. Mutut have a academy, and they're going to support that, right? So therefore, that's what's been done, and yeah, nothing more, nothing less, and we'll see. They wanted to do something similar with Hyderabad FC, but that was announced just not just before. No, sorry, that was announced during COVID, during the start of COVID, and therefore nothing happened, right? Clubs like Punjab FC Madras, Intakashi, Northeast United, these clubs which are doing good in grassroots, which we nowadays, even if I get 50 crores on grassroots, they're not doing good on grassroots. None of them that you've mentioned have done well on grassroots. They're still building on grassroots, right? Punjab FC has to build on grassroots. FC Madras doesn't do grassroots, they do academy. So that's youth football. Intakashi wants to build grassroots. Not there yet. Minerva doesn't do grassroots, does youth football. Northeast United is trying to do grassroots. So all of them still have to do their work. Minerva lost 2-15 final to Punjab. See, yes. And after Mano, I think we should get German coach. Even coach was told that German football is fearless. It makes a difference. German coaches, I think we should try. See, Satyam, to me, the nationality of the coach doesn't matter. To me, the coach has to fit our system, right? So that's the reality. So therefore, for me, it's the nationality doesn't count. To me, the right coach, the right character, the practical, realistic, that's the thing. Super Carol with the Story Partnership, German football, huge diaspora of Indians attended the event. Is it? Huge diaspora? I know the guys who do football in Germany who are from Kerala or Malayali background. They were there. I think India lacks Messi physically and fast game. See Iran, they play simple, not much skills, just simple full physical, fast football, which we lack as it movements. Satyam, Iran has different qualities, and that's why they are as good. And they have different physicality is a nice thing, but look at the Japanese or the Koreans. What happened to 115 charges of Man City? Rushabh being looked at. The Premier League themselves have had problems now. Let's see what happens. Agree, 100% offense is the best defense. Yeah, Monak, that's what you have to think about. Our defense is not solid. Let's not forget that. So therefore, attack in some sort of format. So what makes this I-League fiasco funnier and funnier is that the so-called self-acclaimed good boys of Indian football are getting exposed like Pakistani air defense systems every day now. That's a hard one. Even you won't become Messi if you don't work hard. Yeah. But Messi, even if I work hard, I will never become a Messi. Or you will never become Messi because Messi has a little bit of God-gifted talent as well. OCI, PA and Sporting Basketball, Sports Authority as tennis and swimming also needs OCI, PA and football. So take 8 months at least with democracy, not rough nation like. Who says 8 months? Again, Satyam, again, half infos, half truths. It doesn't matter what you are. If you do your homework right, you can get those things sorted in weeks, right? And that is, that's the question that one should be asking. Do you think playing senior national team versus your team would be better productive match for both the teams? Bhaskar, it could be, but the question is, what do you want to get out of the game? Right? And the under 23 camp hasn't started, so therefore that comparison cannot be made, right? That's a challenge that you would have between the seniors and the juniors. I think in future this might, again, in the summer you could have done it, but again, I think the under 23 discussion started late, so therefore they were put together lately. Vignesh says Marcus' new tweet about OCIPA. Oh, let's see what Marcus has in store for us. Let me just check what tweet you are referring to. 1 second. Let me just get into my Twitter. Marcus Magulao. Okay. I don't see anything. Am I missing more? There will no resistance. Nobody can speak on sportsmanship. They never do. They just need it from AIFF Sportsman. Hopefully, see OCIPU this year. So, them resistance or no resistance, there will be resistance. Yeah. I feel Bayern is about to cook something with words next season. His selling price will be lower next season. They will have done this earlier, right? Rushabh, he wants to go to Liverpool. Right? So I don't know what Bayern should be cooking. Talk with someone at Rajasthan United Football Club who recently collaborated with the German club. What the official said was it was all showbiz, nothing much. It is all PR. Kaushik, and that is my danger because, I have moved away from certain entities who are trying to do stuff with German football at the moment. It's a little embarrassing because, I've been propagating a lot of stuff. To me, I think it's FC Ingolstadt they're talking about and Hoffenheim, how the thing went. It's a problem. I always worked on things. We set up stuff. At the moment, it's from both sides. It's a lot of show. I just said Allstar were not national team players, and most of them were second-tier league players, according to Malaysia fans. Angry Birds, I don't know, and honestly, I don't bother. I mean, again, this is somewhat, so therefore, that's choose one's Constantine, Igor or Manulo. Kaushik, For me, very simple. Stephen Constantine. Right, more than 50 minutes. Wow, didn't even realize we got there so quickly today. If you haven't, like, share, and subscribe, as always. If you're liking this conversation, 17 likes so far. I think we can do better. Share with other people to join it. And if you're new, do subscribe to the channel. And we're at 2,580 today. Thank you very much. If you're new, everyone can ask a question. Subscribe and then be part of our regular, nearly daily discussions. And of course, do watch the short videos that I try and make on a regular basis. Did an exclusive interview with the Intas president, Prithvi Das. Very interesting conversation, I think, a little longer as well. Truths and facts and OCIs, which I did yesterday. Why is the transfer market so calm? Rahul KP playing the TST. So, a lot of interesting things to watch. Why don't we create talent like Baichung, Sunil, and I am Vijan as well? Right. Where are you? The AIFF Appeals Committee is slated to pronounce their award decision in the appeal matter between Chetri Brothers, Namdhari FC, Real Kashmir, Interkashi, and on 29th May. What is this case? I think it's on Barco. Yeah. Marco Ways was due to Thursday. They're not doing it tomorrow all of a sudden. Again, looks dodgy to me. I'm already putting it out there. I feel it's very, very dodgy. When it was, I think, Bhaskar, the under 23 camp is supposed to start on the 1st of June. Someone said last day, Shahil Harijan missed 2 easy chances in the goal against India. Shambit, and I don't trust anyone who was there and who's, because there are too many stories floating around this guy. There is no story from the Indian national team side, very interestingly, but there's always a story from the Bengali side. That makes me worried, right? In any field, I believe how talented you might be, you will be surpassed by a hard worker with a little less talent if you don't work hard. Yeah. Maybe sports is the exception, because sometimes natural talent is something which is sometimes helps you through. So therefore, for me, that is the thing, but hard work always pays off, right? Sir, our away record is good, all win recently. How is it all win? We lost to Qatar last year. How is it an all win, Mayank? Honestly, even Steve Constantine himself would struggle if he were to be appointed right now, considering the time it took him to build that 2019 team. Rishabh, it's not about struggling. Yes, most probably he would, but I think Stephen would still have a certain level of influence on certain players, and try and change things, which he could, nobody else could. And to me, but I think it needs a Stephen, like most probably, character to change things. So the government has given some funds to AIFF for Asian Games preparation. We see more friendlies before September. Rishabh, supposedly, there is some funds that have gone, most probably part of that general pool. But I think if I'm right, the team would most probably get ready for the under 23 Asian Cup qualifiers, September, October, likely. And then there is, then we'll see October, November, most probably the team gets together again. So parallel to the senior team, that's the plan. It was by Ranjan Bhattacharya, the coach, not 24 Parganas. Yeah, Samit, that's what I said earlier in the show. Honestly, when Sanjay Sen is talking the way he does, because and Ranjan Bhattacharya has this tendency as well. When you can't cross-check what really happened, you don't know, I don't know, nobody knows. right? Except if you were there, you don't know if this is factually true because there is no evidence in that way, right? So they can tell you anything because the AIFF, because Manolo, none of these guys are actually pointing out things. It could have been that India had 20 chances and just scored twice or thrice in those two matches. I don't know. So therefore, I am very, very cautious when these people come out with their statements. Sir, it was not our fault, I think. Yeah, but we didn't win, right? The end result counts. We didn't win against Qatar, right? Did we win in Kuwait? No. Is there any logic of hearing relegation talks? Because even last season, despite the Manipuri Civil War, all of their teams got relegated. We didn't even give exemption. Blue, you're 100% right. And to me, that is one of the problems because relegation is not there for the sake of being there. To me, relegation is a crucial part in football, if you like it or not. But, and it's been there in the, as I said earlier on, from 1998, it's been there in the NFL. The ISL is a different thing. That's why you have to look at it in a different way. And for me, also promotion. Mexico, for example, is having a huge discussion about it, right? Mexico has copied the MLS model. Liga MX is shut shop. So more and more countries are actually going to that model of a closed league. And that's going to be, yeah. Race Sports Reporter says India didn't get a clear chance except one or two. Sambit, as said, did this person see the game or was he told that? I don't think he saw the game. So therefore, be careful when all of these people tell you something. Oh, it was this, is what that. I know these characters, so I'm very, 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 very critical. Very critical. I'll be very honest with you. Do you think these two friendlies will be good enough as preparation for qualifiers? In the past, we rarely saw such preparation for each one of these qualifiers. Rishabh, the most important thing is, as you say, if the qualifiers are in September, can you get two more in at the time? But again, you've got Duran Cup, you've got Fed Cup, or Super Cup, whatever is going to be the cup as per the calendar. If the Indian calendar takes off, that's the other point. But yeah, there's a lot of questions that need to be asked. So therefore, for me, very difficult to say how things will be going forward. I honestly don't know. Yeah, it's very, very difficult. Very, very difficult to say, but I hope that the under-23s get a little bit more exposure. Naushad Musa was with the team. I think it's good. I think the one other player needs to drop down from the senior team to the under-23s, maybe to strengthen them. And then we'll see. I've been noticing a few Indian kids are playing here and there in lower division in Europe, Latin America. Do you track their progress? Moinok, to me, no. I don't think the AIFF is tracking them because to me, these kids are playing at a level irregularly. Let's put it this way. You will not be there if there is a standout player in a league somewhere. The news will come to the AIFF through someone. But at the moment, why not? None of these kids are playing. I mean, it's nice to see those stories, but elsewhere, if people get to know that we're making stories about players playing 4th, 5th, 6th division, let's say the problems of Indian football are even bigger than they thought they were. So that's, we need to be on that side. Race Sports was there. They reported live for them. Yeah, but I don't know, Samit. I always felt watching U23 games, why They don't get enough time together this time around. Things look positive. They have funds now. Hopefully, they're performing better this time. Rishabh, we've never qualified for the U23 Asian Cup, so that's also a reality. And we are not in a good pot. We have to face a lot of tough opposition, and that's going to be a check on us, right? Sorry, guys. All right, over an hour. Once more reminder, those of you who are watching, thanks as always. Do leave a like behind, share with other people who think might be interested in our conversations. 19 likes so far. And those of you who haven't but like to do subscribe to the channel, and with 2,580. And yeah, if you're new, ask your questions and I'll try and answer them as honestly as possible. And as I say, do watch the short videos that I try and make on a regular basis. Hi, Welzian. Is there any new performance in the circus? Also, what is your assessment of the performance of the national team these practice matches? Good, doubtful, no hope. Welzian, I don't have any assessment because I didn't see them. And everyone wants to give their GAN because they see the result. The result is, I've registered them. If I would just look at the results, I wouldn't be happy. But at least India won 2 matches. Let's put it this way. This is something which we've not done very often recently. The only match we won was against the Maldives. And then on the other side, yeah, Thailand is a good first test. They're on their way now. And then the match which counts is against Hong Kong. And all this talk regarding Manolo leaving, moving away, not nice. Just got into this local football club trying to make my own comeback into Mumbai Football League. In lower divisions to pay around 10K for 3 months training Indian football for me. For you. You had to, you are paying for 3 months to play for a team in a league. Okay. That's new to me. Shouldn't that team take you, Rishabh, because you're of a certain level, you're certain quality or not? I mean, that would be my question to you, but maybe I'm wrong. But shouldn't they be taking you because you are good enough or of a certain quality? And yeah. Not to play. Okay. Sorry. My mistake. Sorry, Rishabh. Then it's my mistake. Yeah. I mean, as you say, that shows you the problem of Indian football, right? That if in Germany I want to join a team and I just wanted to train, they would allow me to, depending on the number of players they have, they would be actually quite happy to have me come and train with them. So in Germany, they would never ask me for the money. If I perform well, they'll take me into their team. Okay. Then my best wishes with you. Train properly and show them, prove them. Why not? Come back on the cards. No reporter actually was there because they weren't allowed. They were just saying what the Indian coaches told them. And that is my concern, knowing the way that they speak, knowing how the Bengali media, these channels have been, infiltrated, so to say, by these people and their lobby base, right? So makes no sense. That's why I don't take them seriously. If Manolo Marcus said, oh, you know what, we were bad, we were this, we were that, I take it any second. But if these guys are saying it, because knowing Manolo, knowing the way Manolo speaks, talks, and does his things, that's the way he is, right? And he's very critical about his own team, right? So that's also a reality. But these guys praise themselves to a level that you would think, Carlo Ancelotti resigns and one of these guys should be taking over Real Madrid tomorrow. Sorry, being very critical today, but that's the reality. And then you ask them, what have you done? What have you delivered? We don't have a conversation. And that's, sad, but very, very true. So And it's disappointing. It's disappointing to see all of this. I would rather talk to you guys and say, hey, listen, Indian team is ready, rock and roll. Hong Kong coming up, Thailand coming up. We'll win in Thailand away. We will win in Hong Kong, and then we are on our way to the Asian Cup. Not the case, right? When we talk about the AIFF, it is heartbreaking to see the AIFF in the state it is. If you look at the whole situation regarding FSDL, ISL, the mess that the I-League finds itself in suddenly, it seems to be getting worse and worse by the minute. And that is to me very, very concerning, I would say, that we are not able to sort these small little things out. And then there are the big things that we need to sort out to try and take Indian football forward. And then people are giving us hope in regard to PIOs and OCIs. Again, let's remove the PIO part. Let's focus on the OCI part, because watch my explainer video where I try to explain these kind of things, that we need to work on those things. And the PIOs, yeah, they want to come. There are enough boys who are ready to come and play. And I don't even look at the videos now. Look at older videos where I've spoken about this, and how we can take this forward. It's very, very important. Hi Akshay, I am good. Welcome back to the channel. To me, it's very, very important that we need to address the issues, the topics. That's why I put out my tweet, which I put out, and I was surprised that it's people have reacted that much as they did. What I wrote today was, so those who wanted promotion relegation in the ISL now don't want relegation from the I-League. Indian football logic at its best. Monkey emoji with closed eyes. Thrice. It is sad. It is sad where we are. It is sad where we are. I would like to talk about other things, about positive things, but we are in a state where, I'd like to talk about other things with you guys, but I can't. And that's the reality. Right. So I don't know. On the 4th, on the 10th, even on the days that the women are playing, I'll be supporting India. No doubt about it. But I don't, in the past, I used to get worried, I used to hope, wish. And now sometimes I wake up in the morning and think, let's see what happens. And this is my biggest concern that has happened to me in the last 2 years. I mean, I took it on me 2 years ago to travel to Bangalore, watch the semi-finals and the final of the SAF Cup. So therefore, I don't know. Rushabh says, I had this thought of going to coaching in my 30s. Till then, I feel I need to be playing at some level or reach a certain level. Thus, baller inside me woke up. But Rushabh, that's good. I feel if you, and this is to anybody and everybody who loves the game and you want to play, try and find a local club to play. It doesn't matter how good or how bad you are. Just play it. Enjoy the game. I play with friends, and I jokingly say I'm a terrible footballer these days because my head says I can do something, but I physically can't because I'm much, much slower. My reaction is much, much slower than it used to be. But again, next week, Friday, we've got, the Pentecourt weekend is coming and SK Hackenberg is doing its youth tournament again, and I'll be playing in the oldies game. So therefore, I look forward to it. But otherwise, enjoy the game. And what we enjoy watching it, right? But play it yourself as well, because that is, to me, it's the biggest fulfillment. I'll be finished next Friday. Once I've played, we're supposed to play 6 matches in the tournament. I'll be finished, right? So enjoy football, enjoy playing, enjoy training. Yeah. Blue with a piece of information. Former Northeast United and Gokulam Kerala FC manager Vincenzo Anese has been named as the new head coach of Afghanistan national team. The 2-time I-League champion will take charge of the war-torn nation. My best wishes for Vincenzo. And let's see. Afghanistan have done better in the recent past, I think, than many would have thought. And yeah, we'll have to see what Afghanistan can do or not do. But I think Vincenzo, of course, also has coached Nepal, so don't forget that. So let's wait and see. Akshay says, we are training with state teams. Very sad. State teams playing better than national team players. Akshay, it's not sad. When you play these closed door friendlies, you play against state teams, you play against club sides, you play even maybe against under 19 teams. It's just to get into the rhythm of playing a game. So what is sad, right? To me, is the point is you're saying that the state team players were better than the national team. Who says that? Sanjay Sen is saying that, right? Ranjan Bhattacharya is saying that, right? Do we know that? They're not. Sorry, with all due respect, Sanjay and Ranjan, but I don't buy that agenda that you sell yourselves better than you are. So and for India, they tried out things on both days. So I don't think Manolo played his best 11 in any of those two games. So what's the reality? Yeah. So to me, yeah, let's see. So pick the first 11 against Thailand. Emmanuel, for me, it's always very difficult in this scenario. I've seen none of the trainings of the Indian team, to say, oh, XYZ player. Let me just quickly go through the squad once. And then I'll tell you, again, I think against Thailand, Manolo is going to try a few things. I think Amrinder or Gurmeet might be starting in goal. That's a good question. Who does he start where? On the left, we'll have Shubhashish. I'll have most probably Rahul Beke and Sandesh in the middle. On the right, I'm not sure. On the right, who could be on the right? Is it Ashish Rai or is it Roshan? Yeah, maybe Roshan or Boris. There are options. In defensive midfield, I'll have Suresh and Apuya. I'll have Changte, Brandon, and Ashik as my attacking mids, and Sunil up front, if I'm playing the strongest team at this moment. Afghanistan is now one of the fastest growing economies in the world. Now under Taliban's, they are starting from zero. Monok, yeah, we can make fun of them, but again, I think we need to look at ourselves rather than pointing fingers at others. To a ref sports journalist and East Bengal fan, sarcastically said that Mohun Bagan, Rahul Kumar Gupta, Venkatesh, they didn't even realize the refs and proceed to say we don't get link of them. Journalist. Blue, that is my problem. And if you see how many people are watching those shows, yeah, sorry, where's the credibility? And this is where the level of journalism has gone. That's why I am very, very careful when these kind of infos come out. I'm anyway very, very critical about information when it comes to Indian football because anyone and everyone has their own story or agenda to sell. So therefore, I am very careful in what I believe in. And to me, I said it also. Those two matches, it was clear to me whatever the result should be, that people will make a story out of it. Even if India won 5-0, someone or the other would have come out, oh, this Bengal player was so good, this player. So therefore, it's just, and I'm very, very careful. I'm very, very careful on that front. India versus Thailand score prediction. Akshay, I would be happy with a 1-1. 1-0, 1-1. 1-1 I think is better. Yes, when I heard this ref sport journalist this morning, I was laughing while driving. Oh God. Good evening, Simon. Welcome back. And it worries me, right, that these people and this is how transfer, and that's why I'm saying this is how transfer rumors are going around, right? That XYZ said, this guy, he said that guy, and then this is how it all started. And then some of the players, I know some of the players who are being linked with clubs, and they've said, they're staying with the clubs that they are with, right? So I don't get involved in all of this discussion. So therefore, I don't want to be a Fabrizio Romano. I don't want to be a Marcus. And then because let's stick to the truth. Let's hope for the best, and that's what I try and say and do over here. Does it always work? Maybe not, but I try. So let's see. I can't wait for tomorrow's U23 draw with government funding. I'm eagerly looking forward to these qualifiers, just to be disappointed later. Rushabh, you're selling this government support financially as if it's the biggest thing in the world. Nothing has changed. The AIFF in the past has done it without the government support. This time they have the government support. That's the only difference. This government support should have come earlier. But we scrape out a draw stand that could have been positive, got us heading towards Nottingham. Okay. In 2022, Juan Ferrando's Athletic ETK Mohun Bagan drew with Bengal team on practice match, then proceed to win the cup. Doesn't matter these practice matches. Blue, that's my whole point. And the Bengal players, the North 24 Parganas players will be motivated to the hilt to play face India in these games. For the Indian boys, it's about getting through the game, getting match time, getting match practice, and not getting injured. And so therefore, you're very, very right. So it's once in a while, even the bigger teams lose against smaller teams in friendlies. Or again, we were talking a little earlier today about Man United losing to the ASEAN All-Stars or whatever it was, right? 1 second, let me try and find what there is. 1 second. So that happens, right? So this is nothing special, and to me, So to me, again, Man United losing 1-0 to ASEAN All-Stars, Wang win 71st minute strike. Yeah, so I mean, and look at this, Altay Bandier is in goal, so therefore he's not even United. So it's not even the national teams; it's the best players from those leagues, right? So therefore, don't take it too seriously. So don't you think we lack fan culture? If other clubs, I want to see others see East Bengal, and others is only more on say others also have 50 attendance. Nobody has 50-60,000 attendance. That's the first thing. Mohun Bagan is 40, that's the highest. Blasters can be close to 35. Yeah, it would be good, but Odisha FC stadium is not big enough. Hyderabad FC stadium is not big. East Bengal could, yeah. But fan culture, yes, has to grow. Just like Manu was there. Yeah. Simon, that's what I just said. Exactly. Yes, these practice matches don't matter. East Bengal always wins preseason practice matches against other ISL squads. Yeah, I remember. I think they won 3 matches. I think, was it under Carlos Quadrat? And then they couldn't beat those teams in the season. And for getting the attendance of other clubs in Arizona football supporting culture, bringing fans, which makes others can fan bases also. Satyam, yeah, it's marketing and all, but football has to grow in general, right? That's the struggle I think that we are at the moment in India, and that it'll have to happen. When will be ACL 2 playoffs draw? Normally, Rishabh, sometimes in June, second half of June or early July. That's around when it normally is. In today's Man United game, most first-team players were subbed out at halftime, some even before halftime. Guys, don't take it seriously. It's a friendly, and then play academy players in second half. Exactly. And that academy players team lost, right? So just looking at the lineups, right? Onana, Munro, Maguire, Heaven, and then Dalot, Casemiro, Ugarte, Dorgu. Moorhouse, Mainu, Højlund, and Mainu was captain. So, yeah. So therefore, that's... Good evening, Gernre. I-League and Clown AIFF back in business, no relegation thing. Gernre, we spoke about it a few weeks ago. Okay, so it's nothing surprises me. Hi, what keeps you motivated to make video and discuss in football? Has so much disappointing. Being one in a football team follower and fan is more painful than other sports in India. Virender, I'm just not just a fan. I have to call myself a stakeholder in regard to that. I've done a lot of things in Indian football and on Indian football. Want to do whatever I can. To Indian football with you all, and you can share your pain with me as well. So this is how I see it. I might be right, I might be wrong, but that's how I feel, and I hope that at some stage, somewhere, things will go the right way for Indian football. Even Buriram United won 4-0 against Borussia Dortmund. Yes, Simon, exactly. In South America, even in Boca Juniors, in Boca and Argentina, the roads, also students in football, this culture in Boca Juniors attendance, which is nice. The fans' attendance of Odisha FC. Boca Juniors attendance is 10K. Who's telling you that? They've got that Bombonera, whatever that stadium is called. It's a 50,000+ capacity. You know. Every time only one also. They don't. None of them get 50,000 attendances. BFC's never gotten more than I think 23,000. Blasters can get 35,000, and Mohun Bagan gets 40 on average. And then towards the end, they get more on the ISL playoffs. Please, I'm very, 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 very particular about these numbers. Get your numbers right, Satyam. If you want to discuss something with me, you have to have your numbers right. So that's long. By the way, out of the topic, your opinion of Barcelona fans shaming Ter Stegen, they're literally using Nazi symbols, internet, absolutely uncultured. Okay, I haven't seen it. What happened? What Stegen did something wrong? Pedro left Bangalore FC, a guy who received one yellow card in whole season, that one in finals. How do you see this replacement like him? Not going to be easy to find. Again, supposedly Yoel Fanif is being signed by BFC. So if that's the case, and Simon says Yoel Fanif, I will miss him. Supposedly BFC is trying to sign him, even though I know that that'll be interesting to see. Now imagine a national team against Man United as a support of both teams. I bet it would be a Rushabh, we were discussing a little earlier on. I think Angry Bird said it. Man United is not better than the national team at this moment in time, and that's a scary thing to say. But if you see, I mean, again, I think United have been always comeback kings and have done it. I mean, even against Lyon, that was exceptional. But that final, they could have played like for 2 days, 3 days. They would have never hit the goal and never would have scored. And the only one that they had a chance is because of a Tottenham mistake. So that's Which are the worst hooligans in football, Europeans or South Americans? South Americans. Go to Argentina, go to Chile, go to Uruguay, Paraguay. That is it. So, yeah, the hooliganism in Western Europe is a joke. I remember when Rennery trained with CSK Sofia, and we wanted to watch a match in Sofia, a Bulgarian league match, Bulgarian Premier Liga match. Rennery and I were told, don't go to the stadium because CSK Sofia have a neo-Nazi problem. So Eastern Europe, I would say. Don't know they're doing Ter Stegen, our campaign in X. Okay, we'll check it. Stegen out. Okay, interesting. Hard times for United and East Bengal fans. It's been hard time, I think, for both those fan groups for a while. Hong Kong can beat Man United, I feel 100%. This Man United, again, even India could, on a good day, could beat them. And that's, yeah. No one is bigger than Gain, and I watch ISL finals every year and ISL matches. I don't know. No, you don't. Satyam, your numbers are wrong. You're watching it great, but you're saying 50,000. BFC cannot have 50,000 fans in the stadium. The capacity is not cleared for more than 25. And Blasters has a thing as about, So I'm an Arsenal fan, but seeing Man U, I'm scared if we end up like the Belgium golden generation that is going trophyless. That's a realistic danger, no? Very, very dangerous. I think Prafulji ran the system so good, even with a lot of systematic issues. They had developed a lot of things, but the new regime came and watered it down. They didn't water it down, they tore it down. Let's say they built over 10, 12-year period a basic foundation, and you build on top of it. And they actually literally tore on everything. BSC Mohun total attendance center, which was 75 Mohun BSC. So it can't be. The Salt Lake Stadium capacity stands. Forget what you see on Google. The official count is less than 67,000 because that was set by the FIFA World Cup, the Under-17 World Cup in 2017. Since then, there is no match which has gone over. I think 62,000 was one of the matches between Mohun Bagan and Mumbai City. And since then, Mohun Bagan has not sold more than 60,000 tickets. Last season, don't ask me if it was the final ISL game or the ISL final. One game got 62,000 or close to 62,000. So therefore, the 75,000 doesn't count. I don't need. See, Satyam, you have to Google it. I get it here. Right? We can have an argument on other things, but this is something which I know. So therefore, because I was one of the people working on the FIFA Under-17 World Cup in the background. Every friend of mine was jinxing United would win easily and get in UCL. I always had this feeling they'd lose as there was broken love records all in the wrong way. Rushabh, this has been the year of the underdogs winning competition, especially the cups, right? Bologna, Stuttgart, now Tottenham, Crystal Palace, Newcastle. You've had that team in Portugal. So, yeah. Bulgaria has a very toxic and hooliganism problem. Remember that England Bulgaria game where the Bulgarian fans racially abused Sterling Rashford back in 2019. Simon, that was the reason why we were asked not to go to the stadium. That was 2015, right? So that's the reality, right? Blue with Satyam. YBK highest capacity allowed last season was 60,000 something. 75 is now right. That's the point. The stadium at this moment in time has a capacity of 66,000. Before that, it had 1.2 lakhs, you would say, or 120,000 was the official capacity. With bucket seats, the stadium nearly got halved. English people also hooligans. I still remember your final against Italy. Vikilal, that is nothing compared to what happens in Eastern Europe. Watch a Partizan versus Red Star Belgrade game and all those stuff, or Split versus Dinamo Zagreb and all. Go even further, right? Bucharest derby and all that stuff. The hooliganism in Western Europe is a joke against that. Max seat in Salt Lake is 68K, I guess. 66 plus. It's less than 67,000. I do remember that it was reduced to 60,000 from 85,000. Am I wrong? Yes, you are, because 85,000 is what the government wanted to install for the Under-17 World Cup. So if you do see one of my older videos, right, I I did a video in 2017, which is still available on this channel. Actually, I actually did and that is actually footage which I sent to FIFA. Said, listen, the stadium is not ready. And then FIFA started discussion with the Bengal, government to act. And then also the Bengal government, someone looked at the numbers and said, guys, I think what you're wanting to put into stadium will not fit. And then the conversation turned out to be that, one second, was it? Yeah, renovation work at Salt Lake Stadium, 2017, March. So, yeah. That it didn't work out the way that they wanted it. And then FIFA then said, reduce the capacity. It happened in Kerala as well. Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium, the Kerala government wanted to put in 50,000 as a capacity. Javier Shepi as the organizing committee chairman and other people got involved, and they said, listen, we reduce it to less to, I think it was 29,000. They allow more in the ISL 35. So yeah, I hope Betis wins it. Anthony Ora is needed. Crazy, huh? Doesn't perform at United, but goes to Spain and then back to his old Ajax days. Nottingham Forest bottled their season. They could finish in top 5, but then they bottled. Yeah, but I know that a lot of people are saying, hey, Nottingham Forest, disappointing, this and that and everything. No, I think Nottingham Forest did for themselves, did very, very well to get into Europe, to finish top 7. We're talking about Nottingham Forest, who played for most of the time in the last few years in the second, even sometimes in the third tier of English football, right? I mean, I remember we played in 2001, Forest against India. Forest won 2-0. One of the goal scorers was Jamin Genius. Yeah, that's the reality. I want to say in final also we have attendance if only 4K. Satyam, the attendance is all fans put together. So if we're talking about 60,000, that is not only Mohun Bagan fans. That is both sets of fans, right? Or even neutral fans. So if we're talking about 60,000 at the Salt Lake Stadium for a day, let's say we said 60, 61, 62,000 for Mohun Bagan versus Mumbai City last season, there would have been a few thousand Mumbai City fans in there as well. So I don't know what the number is. So but that is added together. Until the other clubs, attendance like attendance, we need to do something. It's very wrong. Listen, you can't do anything. Northeast United also doesn't have attendance, or Northeast United's attendances have been the best, So all of them need to do more, but some of them cannot get more because the capacity is not there. I find it kind of funny how all the racist clowns come together when it comes to supporting England. Why are you saying that? I mean, I know a lot of Indian origin or South Asian origin people in the UK who support England, who are born there. I feel some South American players like Anthony only work in leagues like La Liga, they disappear in Premier League. Yeah, I think no, Rushabh, I don't think it's that. I think some of the players disappear because it's Manchester United. Coaches and players. They seem to have become a graveyard for exceptional talent. Right? England is Pakistan of football, can't even get a big player from their so-called biggest league Premier League till now, depending on Kane wonders. Okay. What's your opinion on Saviour of Indian football trying to stop relegation? Isn't it hypocrisy on side? Udipto, yeah. I mean, I've said it multiple times. He, rather than being the savior, he's the destroyer of Indian football. Period. Simple. Let's summarize it that way, right? That's where we're stuck at this moment in time, that people come around and say, listen, I'm doing this. And again, we are not in a position to question things in Indian football, right? And that's where we're struggling, in my opinion, massively. I remember Leicester, such an underrated team in the past. Hope they won't. Yes, Simon, of course, I do know Leicester City. I remember Leicester India played Bangladesh in 2000. We went on that tour at the old Filbert Street Stadium. Of course, they won the Premier League. won the FA Cup and all those things, great achievements. But yeah, down back into the championship. So they'll have to work their way up. But that's football, right? That's football. You'll have some success, you know. That's the thing. While we're talking about attendance, most of the leagues around the world are played in empty stadiums and still that is good. Why are we talking, Vicky Lal, which leagues are you talking about which are empty? I don't know. The stadiums, let's say in Germany, are empty. I don't think they're, the key sides in Italy, Spain, France, England are empty. Yeah. It's funny that Ante is playing European final and Ten Hag will play in Champions League next season while Man United is in low table of English Premier League. Blue, it's not funny. That is football. That is football as it is. So I think we have to do a wonder for getting attention. Even after winning 1903, only we get attention in cricket. So that's why we have to do something big in Asia. So media coverage and attention comes. Asia, I think big will not be enough. India will have to go to the World Cup. Rohit, honestly, I feel Ten Hag's sacking was wrong. They repeated the same mistake. All these players are just big mess of different managers signing from different styles. Yeah, I don't think even the managers, I think the backroom staff of signing was a problem at United. Upcoming season is going to be interesting to see how Mumbai City FC and Northeast United built up teams. They struggled a lot. Northeast struggled. Northeast did well. Get on red. Mumbai City already is doing a full clear out. Last season, it was a forced clear out because a lot of players left. And this season, it's the rebuild failed. And now let's see what Mumbai City do. They have the capabilities. Now Sujay will have to show, do they keep the coach? Do they bring another coach? A lot of speculation. I think there's no clarity on that front, for me at least at the moment, what Mumbai City are doing on the coaching front. But otherwise, yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. Odisha, I think the first question is, are they staying or not? That's going to be the question. Vanif, where are you seeing him? Blue, I'd like to only see him at Mumbai City, to be very honest, but he's leaving. I'm disappointed because I like the player, I like the style, I like the control that he has, and supposedly BFC and FC Goa are being linked with him. So it will be interesting to see what happens. But to be honest, I would rather not see him in the ISL, see him somewhere else, because I loved him as a player. Man United struggling for money and cash balance and avoiding expenses in many other Premier League clubs also. See, the point is, Satyam, Man United is not struggling for money. That is all that the management is showcasing, wanting to reduce costs, this and everything. Listen, ask the players for 1% of their salary. None of the things that they're trying to save money would have to be done. It's just a joke. So, yeah, not working in my opinion. What's the stadium situation, Odisha? Simon, I think it's not a stadium situation, it's a general situation. Odisha FC, let's see if they want to stay or move. With Ruben, I think the best approach would be to back him for 2 seasons straight, whatever the result be. Even if United finish mid-table next season, let him rebuild like proper. Rishabh, I think Amorim and United at this moment does look like a mismatch. But maybe he can turn things around. Yeah, Diamond Harmacy want to sign Sonny Nori. Yeah, there's some rumor about it. Let's see. I think we need a physical field attacker. If we have physical field attacker, striker, 70% work is done. As in last year, have to score goals to be good teams, and for that we need fielder striker. Yeah, let's see if we find someone. I thought he would be best fit in Mohun. We need a good midfielder, but our management is notorious for not signing foreign midfielder for some reason. Yeah, Blue. That's very, very true. Very, very true. Your opinion, but to me the situation Man United was kind of similar, except India never had glory. No, I think Debu, I think there are different kinds of problems at different levels. That both things are problems, no doubt about it, but I think United's problems are different from India's problems, in my opinion. Sorry, what is your thought on Sahal getting dropped from national team? He didn't convince the coach. I mean, we all have an opinion about it, but Sahal to me is someone Yeah, let's see. The only positive I find about Ratcliffe is he's making the right decision regardless players' wages. United is playing way too much next season. There will be a huge cut in wage bill. But even Ratcliffe has been a problem, and he's a problem. I don't think he's the solution. That's the real problem. Even today, Marcus broke rumor that when a Persib player was linked with one, yeah, Spanish midfielder. We don't have a transfer rumor in Bengal. We have transfer fake news. Well, no, that's the whole problem. That's why, yeah, I'm very, very careful. I do find similarity with the problem with both United and East Bengal as that is a similarity that we can have. Yes, I think Manolo is here to fulfill his ego. I don't think Arnav is. Then you don't know Manolo. Hi Manolo, hey, welcome back. In my opinion, Sal one is deserved needs to be better, but taking Swerve hard. He's taken 28 players. No. Yeah, it is the way it is, right? We can't change it. Right, 1 hour 41 minutes. Slowly coming to an end for this Wednesday evening. Once more, the reminder, like this video, even if you're watching it later. Share it with others, and I'll be back tomorrow. And do watch my exclusive interview with Prichit Das of Inter Kashi. Extensive interview, was very, very honest, very, very open about things, so therefore, for me, interesting one. Thanks to Bridget for giving me this interview, and I'll catch you tomorrow. I see some more questions, but again, I have to head somewhere, and I'll take those questions if you remember tomorrow and speak to you then. Good night, everyone.